Hello and welcome back to the Sausage Kit podcast. I'm John and today we are going to be speaking a little bit about the British touring cars or just in general touring car news because of course we are in silly season and news was coming thick and fast this week, so I thought I'll put out a video on Tuesday and then some news dropped, and then I thought I'll put out a video on Wednesday and then some more news dropped, and I thought, you know what, I'll wait till Friday and whatever it is, it is. So as you can see from this picture below, we're going to start off with Tom Oliphant, who has decided to go down under for a bit of TCR Australia. So TCR, if nobody knows, is basically another touring car championship which comes under the WTCR rules, etc. And they have localised national championships. There is a TCR UK, which we're going to speak a little bit about later. And he's chose to go with his new sponsor, Autoglim, down to TCR Australia. So we'll read a little bit. I've not read too much about this. It just says British touring car talent Tom Oliphant will make his Australian racing debut this season as he enjoys a much anticipated return to competition in the super cheap Auto TCR Australia series with leading team Autoglim ASM. So it says leading team, so I don't know much. I'm not going to pretend to know much about Australian TCR, but if they're a leading team, then he's in with a chance, I suppose, of going for a championship. So it's something else for us to watch out for in between watching our BTCC. I did get the tracks up as I was doing a little bit of research. A lot of the dates are still to be confirmed. But these tracks, Sandown Raceway, Symonds Plains Raceway, Phillip Island, Queensland Raceway, and of course the Bathurst in New South Wales, Mount Panorama, which is an unbelievable track. If you've not seen that, that'll be worth watching. I'm not sure if that one actually supports any other bigger series, but an interesting schedule anyway. Have a look at these tracks if you get a chance. Some very interesting configurations on these tracks and pretty rapid as well by the look of it as well. So that was that piece of news. Moving on, we're talking about Ollie Jackson, and this is a little bit old, this news now, but Ollie Jackson made it clear that he was departing the BTCC and he wanted to move on to something else. He's had a good 4 years with Motorbase and he's decided to go on to the Porsche Carrera Cup. So this will be really interesting to see how he gets on in that, and it's good. I think it's quite good when you get to know drivers, etc., throughout the seasons in touring cars, when that's what you go to watch, and then you're watching the support races, of course, and when you've got a couple of names in there which you know it's quite good to watch out for them. So I'll be watching out for Ollie next year and seeing how he gets on in the Porsches. Now, you might remember this picture. This picture is from back in December. Oh, there it is there. December the 5th, 2022. So the end of last year. And you can see that he was at the Hilton. Aiden Moffat this is. And he was trying to find himself a new sponsor. Now, this is because Laser Tools declared that they were leaving the championship, so obviously Aiden had to go out and start looking for new sponsorship. Starline, who he was looking to get a main title sponsor in his car for the 2023 season, and we saw him with a Team Hard car, Cupra, with Starline livery, which I thought, wow, it's quite a striking livery. Where's he going to end up? This was in December, of course. A lot changed since then. So the news came earlier this week that One Motorsport, that previously used to be BTC Racing, had signed up with both Josh Cook and Aiden Moffat. So I wasn't quite sure if that was going to be both Aiden's TBL licenses that was used under the One Motorsport banner, but there we have it. They're both going to be in them absolutely beautiful cars for next season, because this is the artist impressions that we got of the One Motorsport Starline livery car, and yeah, they look brilliant, don't they? So if they look anything like this next season, I think you'll have quite a lot of fans buying merch, etc., because they look quite striking. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the rest of BTC or One Motorsport now. A lot of people have talked about Powell taking a seat there. I'm not sure. I think he might be going into GT racing, if anything, but that's yet to be seen. onto Excelr8 Motorsport, and they of course named their final driver, which is none other than Ronan Pearson. Now, you might not know who Ronan Pearson is. Ronan Pearson's a young guy, 21-year-old. He's from down the road from where I was from when I lived in Scotland. I lived in a little place called Salon, and down the road from there is a little place called Kelty, and that's where Ronan is from. And he's been racing in quite a lot of the support packages for the British Touring Cars. Clio Cup, I believe, and then into the Minis. And he's made a steady progression in the Minis. In his time, he's had a bit of bad luck, as we see with quite a lot of drivers. But at the age of 21 years old, he was at Excelr8 Motorsport with the Minis last season, and he finished 4th, I believe, overall in the championship, with a bit of bad luck. Bit of better luck, and he could have been going for that championship. And he's found himself in an absolutely amazing position of having a seat in the British Touring Cars, which for me, that's brilliant, because it's another Scottish driver in the British Touring Cars to cheer on and to look out for. But as a local guy, it's even better to see someone of this age managing to get into the touring cars, which is absolutely fantastic. This is the Dunfermline Press. This came from this little snippet here. So it's showing Aiden. It's got quite a big write-up about him, which is great. So cool. That'll be brilliant to watch out for him in 2023. So keep an eye on him. Hopefully he does brilliant. He is obviously in one of the Hyundais, if they're still running them at Excelr8, alongside the rest of the guys there, including the current champion. So the guy who exited Excelr8 was Mr. Butel. So Butel, unless you've not worked out, I think I might have just chopped. No, the hard is on there. I thought I chopped it off. But Mr. Jack Butel has signed for Team Hard. Now, I had thought personally that Team Hard had filled their 4 seats. I thought they had 4 TBL licenses and they filled them up. But it looks like somebody has managed to lend out their TBL license, and Jack Butel is going to be driving for Team Hard, which that's quite interesting. I think they've got a good lineup there. He'll be in a Cupra. He obviously won the Jack Sears 2022, so it'll be interesting to see how he gets on at Team Hard in 2023. It's going to be very competitive within that team. And it'll be interesting to see if the Cupras, if that's what they're driving, I believe it is. Yes, it is. It'll be interesting to see if they can move forward a bit in the championship, and be going for more podiums, etc. Next piece of news was probably the worst kept secret. I mean, I think all us northern monkeys were hoping to get the BTCC launch somewhere a bit further north, but it looks like. Sorry, I've chopped off the edge of this here. That's my unprofessionalism. But I'll read it out to you and hopefully you can understand. The BTCC launch will be at Brands Hatch. So I might take a trip down. It's on the 12th of April, which I believe is a Wednesday. It's definitely midweek. I'd like to go down there and see the new cars, etc. and do a few lives from down there. But yeah, that's it. So on the 12th of April, the launch, which is often called Media Day, will be at Brands Hatch. And the final little bit of news that I thought I'd wrap up is the TCR UK. The TCR UK's, it's been up and down a little bit. The organisers have been doing a good job trying to fill up the grid. A lot of people kind of have a little chuckle at the amount of Cupras that are on there, but there is different cars on there. And this season, is going to have a decent wedge of cash as prize money up for grabs. So it says that the promoters of the TCR UK announced that for the first time in the history of the championship, a total prize fund of £75,000 was being introduced. Now, I think this is quite a big carrot to dangle in front of some drivers who might be humming and hawing about getting money together for the British Touring Car Championship. They might have suddenly looked over to this and thought, I've got a good chance of winning this, or I've got a good chance of podiums, pole positions, and finishing in the top 3 in this championship. And, the cash prizes are going to be handed out to drivers during the 2023 season. It says the amount of £1,000 will be awarded to the driver who takes the overall pole position in each of the 7 qualifying sessions of the year. So that's a potential £7,000 up for grabs. The overall top 3 drivers in the first race at each event will receive £1,500, £1,000 and £500 respectively. And then for the reverse grid race 2, the winner will receive £750 and second and third will get £500 and £250. Now, you know, it doesn't sound like a lot of money in the grand scheme of motorsport, but that could be the difference to you continuing in a championship or being competitive in a championship with parts, etc. And it can all add up if you're successful week in and week out at the TCR. So I think that's a great start. There's going to be an end of the season ceremony. The 2023 TCR UK champion will receive the amount of £15,000, with the vice champion receiving £10,000 and third place £5,000. The drivers who are crowned as the Tom Walker Memorial Trophy winner and Goodyear Diamond Trophy winners will also receive £2,500 per trophy. I think that's brilliant. Stuart Lyons, who is the promoter for the championship, he said he's very pleased that we've introduced the new prize fund for the drivers to earn prize money for their on-track performance is a great reward. And I agree, it's something you don't really hear about British touring cars. All you hear about is money going the other way, and it's nice to see a series, you know, come up with quite a large sum of money, and hopefully that grows. Hopefully if people get along to see the TCR, that'll grow, and we'll hopefully get to see a little bit more of TCR kicking out. I'm hoping to get down to a few TCR race meets this year, and hopefully I can come back and do a few videos and tell you what it's all about if you've not managed to get there. And if I don't manage to get there and there's not British touring cars on, I might do a watch along on this channel, because it's something that myself, and we've got Rich and we've got Harry as part of the podcast as well. We are all starting to do these watch alongs. We've started in Formula 1. I done a couple on this channel last year, but it's something that I'm hoping to, you know, do again, because we did get a lot of people in. They were interested. You can talk about the racing as you're watching it. I'm not sure I'll be able to broadcast much on here apart from times and where people are on track and other bits of information, but I'll maybe do a little bit of digging on TCR and see how they are about that. But yeah, that's about it, folks. I think that's all the stories this week. And if you like F1 and you're getting a bit excited for the F1 season, TSK F1 is our other channel. We'll keep them separate on YouTube because YouTube likes things to be kept separate, especially if it's different series and different subjects, if you like. So TSK F1 is our other channel, so if you could go along and give that a few likes if you're into your F1. If not, please make sure you like this video and subscribe if you want to see more touring car news. So thanks for watching and see you again soon. Cheers.